I was Cry for Help. I was really looking
That's
forward
my favourite song.
looking forward to a little bit of
me
that.
too.
Well, you can sing it for us now.
We'll do a re-edit later.
Oh, Riff Astley joins us now. The book is out. It's called Never. It's the autobiography. Why now did you decide to write this?
It's a lot of things, to be honest. I'm getting on a bit, and I'm going to forget it all soon, I think, and that's truthful, actually. But also, I wanted to be really honest about the way I was brought up. And my mum and dad passed away in the last few years. They were separated and divorced when I was like 4, and I'm the youngest of 4 kids. And I just felt that what happened in our household, I think, formed who I was, obviously, as it does with all of us. But it's kind of what made me want to be a singer and want to perform and want to be on a stage, I think. It was more my upbringing than just the love of music, I think.
Yeah. So the fact that they passed on, you felt more comfortable.
I could be totally honest about it.
To be honest about it.
Yeah, because I wanted to be kind of brutally honest a little bit, and I didn't really want them to have to kind of go through that and chat that over with the neighbours. You know what I mean? So
fair enough.
Yeah, so I think it's been obviously that is a massive, crucial point in anyone's life when your mum and dad have finally gone.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be super honest about it. They absolutely loved us. There's no doubt about it. But it was quite an unusual upbringing.
Because you were brought up by your dad.
Yeah.
And like you said, he was a tough dad, but a loving dad at the same time.
Yeah, he loved us, there's no doubt about it, but he just couldn't control himself. And I think from being 4, 5 and 6, being really young, you don't really want to be around the dad figure in your life, or the mum figure for that matter. If their mood swings are so massive, it really, really affects you, I think. And obviously it did me. And even to this day, I still think there are triggers that I have, and I've just learnt to control it. And I was super lucky in my late 20s when I'd packed in all the pop nonsense, I got to go and do therapy, and I think a lot of people would obviously benefit from that, but I got to do that, and I think.
And was it helpful?
Yeah, it was, and it was helpful with that 4 or 5 year career that I had, where I didn't really understand what the washing machine I'd just been through. It was mad, and so I think all in all it was an amazing thing, and obviously I would. If anybody gets to have a chance to do therapy, I would say do it. Because, we probably all need a bit.
I mean, your story is kind of unbelievable, really, because you had to all intents and purposes, you had the world at your feet. You're absolutely, you hit the road at 21. You're doing so well. You decide to walk away at 27.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wasn't at the peak of everything at that point.
Yeah.
It was probably touch and go whether I was going to keep a career.
Yeah, but you weren't holding on to it. You weren't clinging for it.
I wasn't desperate to hang on to it, no. The kind of fateful day when it really kind of came home to roost was I was going to America to do a big TV show in New York, and I developed a fear of flying. I didn't want to get on planes anymore, which it's hard to be an international pop star if you won't fly.
What had happened? Did something happen?
I mean, there's a lot of things. Our daughter had been born at that point, she was 2. I just didn't want to do it anymore, I don't think. And I think, in a way, I replaced that thing of fame and all of those things that I thought were going to help me, fix me, if you want to say that, with my own family. And I thought, well, I've done that. I want to be at home then.
Yeah.
And I know that makes me out to be super dad. I wasn't super dad in any way, shape or form. She's 32, our daughter now. But I was there.
Yeah.
I was home. And most people never get that chance, So
but
I was
it's
super
really
lucky.
brave at the age of 27. It's so young to decide, I'm retiring from this. You had all the money, you had the fame, you had everything to just go, do you know what? That's enough.
But I also think, you mentioned money, I think that was a luxury that I had. That's freedom, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what money is. And I think as much as, I loved being, on a stage and singing songs and having a career in music, it also kind of sometimes appeared that it was just like this nonsense sort of world I'd sort of got myself into. It didn't make any sense anymore because I hadn't done any growing. I'd been from like a teenager in bands at school and after school and all the rest of it, and then kind of got into this situation where it blew up and off it goes. But it's like, after 4 or 5 years of it, you suddenly realise, well, is this what I really, really want? And now I've got the balance, I think. I've got the balance of best of both worlds.
Well, you get to perform, don't you? You get to do what you love.
Yeah.
What brought it back, Rick? What was the moment?
I guess it was a number of things. One of the main things was that my wife and daughter wanted to go to Japan. So I'd get different offers about going singing in different, and when the one from Japan came, they went, we're going.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and I think actually going singing the old songs again in front of an actual audience rather than at a friend's wedding was just such an amazing thing. And it made me think, but it also, I wasn't there to promote anything. I wasn't there to do the, and I think it's just a different thing, I think, the experience of playing live that's where the absolute joy is, I think. You must have heard that from every artist you've spoken to. That's the moment of like, right, this is my little world, and you just go and enjoy it.
Can we rewind a little bit? Because I didn't realise that you actually used to live with Pete Waterman. Is that
I did for a while, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
When the guys, Stock Aitken Waterman, when they signed me, it was just before they blew up and they had the first record, you know, #1, another #1, just kept doing it. So even though they'd signed me, they didn't really have the time to focus on some kid from up north who they didn't really know much about. They wanted to focus on these big artists that they were having massive records with. So Waterman said, we've got to get him down. So they invited me to come down to London. I ended up making tea and getting the sandwiches in the studio, and then thought, well, where's he going to live? And then Waterman said, it's fine, he'll live with me. So it was amazing. I mean, we were all on those big phones before. Pete would be on one of those phones, driving into I think you could drive on the phone by then in the car. Not anymore, everybody. He would just be kind of like having the most interesting, amazing conversations with different record labels, different managers, and I just sat there, just kind of like soaking it up.
And was he promoting all of the people he was representing?
Yeah, I mean, he would. I mean, listen, Pete is a force of nature.
It's incredible,
and
isn't it?
He's a what? Sorry,
it's incredible. Really.
He is, and I do think that, you know, he's a bit Marmite for people, I think, and I think he'd say that himself probably. But without him, it wouldn't have happened. Sure. There's no doubt about that. The musical talent, I would say, was Matt and Mike in terms of like the musicianship and all of that. But without him and the focus and the direction, it wouldn't have happened. So
yes, and we've got the tour coming up as well. And I just want to mention, you know, that gig in Glastonbury, because I was side of stage, so we were there for Radio 2. It was unbelievable.
I think you were the first person I actually spoke to after that.
Great moment for me, mate.
No, it was amazing. It was too hard for me to take it.
That's my phone. Yeah.
No, it was such an amazing day. The whole weekend was incredible. I'd never sung at Glastonbury, I'd never even been to Glastonbury. And we were about to go on at 12 o'clock lunchtime. My wife and I went out there at like 11:30 and there's just no one there. So we're like, OK, we better have a Jaeger because this is going to be the worst.
That's what it's like there.
And then
they just arrived.
It's a great moment, mate.
We've got to mention that you're going to be at the Royal Albert Hall this Christmas. Very exciting about that.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous
Memoir
place.
Never is out now. Swinging Christmas at the Albert Hall this December. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.